Hi guys, my name's Luke and welcome to Keep A LukeOut episode 7. Racking up 108 amateur fights with 83 wins, junior ABA champion, now 8-0 as a professional boxer, currently ranked number 10 in the country, fresh off his great win against Darren Tetley, whose next fight is on March the 1st on Channel 5. On today's show, we have Mr Elliot Whale.
Yes, mate. Yes,
How are you, mate?
All good, mate. All good. Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. Thank you for coming, bro. I know you've been up training up Birmingham, so really appreciate you coming, because I know you only get a couple of days with your
that's it.
family at the moment.
Yeah.
So yeah, appreciate it. How you doing?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. I just had a little training session today. I get the training session, come back up here, then I get to go home, see my little boy and my missus and that. Yeah, chill out.
Chill out for the weekend.
Yeah.
Good. So what I wanted to start, Elliot, is when we first met in the boxing gym.
Yeah.
So do you know how old were you when we first met? What would you say?
Well, I don't know how old I was when we first met. It's been a long time, but I was in that boxing gym from 2006, about 7-8 years old, and then I'm not sure when you come down there, but
well, I think I was 17, so if I'm 31, I'm 5 years older, so that would make you 12.
12, yeah. So mad. Now, how many years is that now then?
It's a long time.
Long time, mate. Now, yeah.
But one of the standout things for me, mate, is because obviously I've been in a few gyms over the years and met different boxers. But one thing about you is you were in my opinion, from the outside, it looked like you were the most natural boxer I've ever seen.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah. And you were, I remember seeing you on Instagram about a couple of years ago, and I couldn't believe how much you've grown.
Yeah.
But you was, a very small,
I was tiny, skinny,
wiry,
wasn't I?
Wiry, yeah. But you was just so game, and you box all the time. And I always really, like, even though you were 12, I mean, I didn't know whether you were 12 or 13, but you must have been 12.
Yeah.
I think you were destined to be a professional boxer.
That was my dream from as soon as I walked through the door. Do you know what I mean? Always wanted to do it. As soon as I got there, I knew this sport was for me, and now I'm living out my dream. Yeah.
So. Good. What was what we'll do is let's start with amateur boxing. Yeah. Because I love amateur boxing. I think amateur boxing, a lot of people talk about professional boxing, but there's a whole career before you even turn pro.
And even like the coaches, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're special people. Like,
yeah. So what was Nemesis Amateur Boxing Club like to box for you, and what was Tony Petit like as a coach?
I think for me personally, that was the best gym that I could have gone to. Do you know what I mean? The bond that we had with people, like most of the people, my friends now, are through Nemesis. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. He loved you, Tony. As well.
Yeah.
You were like Tony's son.
Well, he was like my second dad. Do you know what I mean? Having him from the age of 7 I think, 7 to 21 when I turned pro, it was good. He took us on a load of trips and he taught me everything that I knew, yeah.
I think what I loved about Nemesis is that, I remember going to Nemesis for the first time and I just couldn't believe how hard people trained at Nemesis.
Yeah, it was...
The toughness of people there was just ridiculous. Like the circuits that people
it was crazy, wasn't it?
The training, because when I was there, and you probably were there, maybe a gym before and a gym after, I'm not sure, but when I was there, it was above the gymnastics.
That's it, in Erith. So that's when I first went there, that's where it was at Erith. Then I think in about 2012 it moved to Crayford, but that Erith gym, that was proper.
It was the nuts.
That was old school, and the smell and everything was just unreal.
And the changing rooms, the little changing rooms at the corner.
And they had a little sauna in there. It was that gym there. That was the best. That was when I think Nemesis was at its heights, with the fighters that it had and the success that it had.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you actually, because there was a guy in there who was like 25-0. Can you remember who he was?
It could have been Adam Middleton.
I can't remember.
It could have been Adam Middleton.
He was a black lad.
Oh, Tope.
That was it?
Yeah, Tope, yeah. So I think he was 21-0, yeah.
21-0.
Yeah. So,
he was so good, wasn't he?
Yeah, good fighter, naturally. Good natural ability he had. So, again, he's a little bit older than me, so I was a bit young looking at these. I didn't really go to any of their fights now, but I heard about him and I could see him in the gym. He was a good fighter,
Yeah, because the seniors and the juniors were like a little bit separate, weren't they?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
But, what a club Nemesis was. And, if you were game and you were up for it, Tony you'd have the opportunities there, wouldn't
Yeah,
you?
definitely. He would he'd chuck you in for sure, you know what I mean? Especially at the start, when we was at Erith, like, I used to fight on like Wednesday nights, and we'd fight again on like a Saturday. It was crazy, do you know what I mean? But obviously, as time went on, his kids turned pro or stopped boxing, and obviously he's busy at work.
Yeah.
The gym didn't fight as much. Not me personally, but the other fighters in the gym weren't fighting as much. Obviously, I was in championships and things like that, so I still got to fight. And I feel like he was obliged to me, do you know what I mean? So for me, he would take me to the shows, take me fights, blah, blah, blah. But I think that once I turned pro, the gym shut down sort of thing. Not because of that.
No, I know what you mean.
Yeah.
No, I know what you mean. I just think... for Tony, you had to be all in.
Yeah.
If you were all in and you were game, he would give it to you. But if you weren't like fully committed, it was probably difficult for him to have the...
Well, you think it takes up a lot of his time. Do you know, he's got a successful business and they're doing it for free. They're doing it for mainly for the love, to help kids better their lives, get off streets or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
and he was fully committed.
He was fully committed.
He'd take people sparring.
He'd take them everywhere.
I went Essex in Billericay sparring.
Yeah, that's it. I've been there a few times.
I think you were there when we went down there. I sparred this Polish plumber, and he just smashed my gum shield straight out of me. But some of the. But yeah, and he's to take everyone West Ham.
Yeah, West Ham. That was a nervous one. That was a tough one.
That was hard
back
sparring.
in the day. Yeah, there's some real good fighters there. So
there
was like a certain bit where you'd drive up to like a pub. It was just round the corner, and I used to get butterflies like I was fighting, like because I knew it was going to be hard. Hard sparring. But
what I used to love about Tony as well was he would get people down sparring that he felt were a good match for you, and it'd be on like a case by case basis.
That's it.
Because I remember like he got. Johnny Garton probably can't even remember this, but Johnny Garton used to come down. I used to spar Johnny, and like that helped build my confidence.
Yeah,
but he was like really good at bringing in certain people to help you.
Yeah, to like build you up, sort of thing. Yeah, definitely. He didn't just chuck you straight in with like I don't know, like a national champion get beat up so you don't turn up again. Do you know what I mean? He sort of used to build you up.
Yeah,
so, he's a good guy.
Yeah, big up Tony Petit.
Yeah, big him up.
Big up Nemesis. So yeah, let's talk about your first amateur fight.
Yeah.
Where was it? Who was it against? Did you win or lose?
I won it.
You won, did you?
Get that in first. I won it. It was in Slade Green, 2008. I think it might have been May 2008. I boxed a kid from Bexley. I can't remember his name now though. There's so many. Do you know what I mean? There's so many. I used to be able to remember them, but as I've got older, I've forgotten them.
Was you nervous?
Nah, it was weird. When I first was amateur, I didn't get nervous, and then I think I won like my first 6, and I thought I was a dog's bollocks. I thought I was unreal, and then me and Tony's son Luke, we were both unbeaten. We both boxed again in Slade Green, and
because you'd get matched quite hard at Nemesis as well.
Like hard.
You'd be like...
I think I boxed my 6th. I was 6-0, and I boxed someone who was like 3-1-2, but he was a good kid, do you know what I mean? And I thought I was the bollocks, and I never used to get nervous. Luke got beat. Tony's coming, he's like, you better not fucking lose this. I ended up getting beat, and then from then I started to get nervous. I realised like it's not a joke, you know what I mean? Like that's what brought on the nerves. But yeah, that was my first fight, May 2008.
Wicked.
Crazy,
Long time ago, mate. But the thing is, I don't even feel like when you used to box, I don't even feel like you used to get bashed up that bad.
Nah,
like, you didn't get that many.
I was at that age. I was very awkward. Do you know what I mean? I was small and lightweight, but I was quite wiry and like I just had a weird style. You know, I was a little bit awkward, so I didn't really take too much punishment. But as I've got older, I've obviously developed a different style to but I always think my defense is pretty good, and I still don't take a lot of punishment now. Do you know what I mean? So
I remember you used to hold your. Did you used to hold your right arm in a funny way or something when you used to?
It used to be like a bit out here and a bit wiry and out, but I've sort of tucked it in now.
I suppose you got to.
I don't think it is.
But yeah, man, honestly, what a out of all the young like boxers I can remember, I always remember thinking, I'm 17 and he's 12 and I'm sat there watching him, trying to learn from him. Like, do you know what I mean? So
I appreciate that.
Yeah, wicked. So what about the winning the junior ABAs? How many? Well, first of all, can you kind of remember going through that process, and how many fights did you have to win them that year?
So I think I had 6 or 7 fights to win them.
Yeah.
I boxed every round. I had to box every round. I boxed in the London quarters.
That was hard to get through, wasn't it?
The whole Londons was really hard to get through. If you get through the Londons, you should normally get to the final or at least win it.
Yeah, everyone's Repton.
That's what they say. Yeah, Repton, West Ham or Newham at the time was a good gym.
Yeah.
I think they're still pretty decent now, to be fair. But yeah, I boxed in the London quarters, semis, finals, pre-quarters, quarters, semis, finals. Seven fights, 7 wins.
And did you know who you was that's all right. Did you know who you was boxing on the way through? Did you know the kids at that point, or was it so far before like social media you didn't even know who
there's
you were
only really
fighting?
Facebook there, do you know what I mean? So in the London rounds they do a draw, so you know who you're going to meet and stuff like that. I boxed a good kid from Hooks, who's now a pro. He done all right as an amateur. I beat him, obviously. Then in the London finals I boxed a kid who got to, I think that was the first year of the junior ABA, so he got to like schoolboy finals. I don't know if he won them or got, you know what I mean? So I boxed him in the London finals, beat him. Then after that, I didn't know who I was fighting till I got to the final. There was a good kid from Sunderland, and he ended up getting beat in the semis. And I boxed the other kid who went on the GB squad. Like he was on the GB.
Yeah.
A few years later as a senior. Then I boxed him. And then now I think he's turned pro, yeah. So I've boxed a lot of good people. Was
it hard to keep your weight down going through the ABAs, or was it
not really? Because I hit puberty quite late, you know what I mean? So I was only under 46 kilos. I was 15. I was light. But
they were the harder weights though for the juniors.
Yeah, they were, because everyone
condensed.
was a bit smaller. Do you know what I mean? And we boxed for England, and when I boxed for England, my weight then was getting quite hard because I was starting to grow a little bit.
Yeah.
Then I went from 46 to 52s. Then from 52s to 60, do you know what I mean? So
and then did you go up to 69?
Yeah, so that's how I finished my career as a senior. So
and then you're back down now to 64.
Now, 66.6 I think it's got to be as a welter.
Oh, okay.
But I haven't actually made that yet. But
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Who was your amateur boxing bogeyman? Did you have anyone either in the gym or who used to compete against who, was like, not him kind of thing?
Nah, not really, because I used to always want to test myself. So as a senior, when I got beat in the first year of the ABAs, I boxed Luke McCormack. Yeah. It was obviously I don't know if he went to the Olympics but he's a #1 GB boy. And at the time, I had to box all the other rounds, and he was like a #1 seed, so he was already through. Then when they do the draw, I really wanted to fight him because I wanted to see where I was at there. I didn't really want to avoid him. I drew him in the semis and ended up getting beat, but after I got beat, I think, I wish I fought him in the finals now. Do you know what I mean? Just that one better. But I didn't really have a bogeyman. I just wanted to fight the best and test myself. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Just to track back a second, because I think some people, well, hopefully people do, but some people might not realise just how competitive that getting out of London is.
Yeah, it's real hard.
It is like, I mean, I never boxed like, I boxed in the novices and I went out in the first round. Right. I missed... I missed lightweight and then boxed at 64 for the first time. And I boxed this massive geezer from double jab, and I lost on majority, but whatever. But I feel like if I had made the lightweight weight, I would have done well in the novices. But obviously you were boxing open class. But the thing is, like, it was at the same venue every time. It was like a big building. Was it in Lewisham? Where was the venue?
So there was one, I think. It
was like in a big tall, really had a tall.
I think it was in Croydon. Was it in Croydon?
It must have been Croydon, or...
what's it called?
Crystal Palace, was it?
I can't remember now.
Yeah.
I know.
It was the same place.
Fairfield Hall, is that it?
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, Fairfield Hall. Then it changed to Feltham. Went down to Feltham.
And it would just be an army of kids that were absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like every single kid was unbelievable.
But in them London rounds, it was mental, some good talent.
Yeah, it was amazing. And everyone's got their own stories. Everyone's planning on, got their own goals and stuff. It was crazy. What would you say was your hardest amateur fight you ever had? If you had to pick one,
right,
like the most grueling, what
would
you say?
I'd say probably, the best kid I boxed and got beat by was Luke McCormack.
Yeah.
Hands down. My hardest fight, I actually won it, but it was a tough fight. I boxed Stephen McKenna. Okay. On a Nemesis home show. He come from Ireland. Good fighter. He's now a pro. I think 13-0.
They flew him over. That's it.
They come over. Yeah. We had a real good fight. We was both seniors, and it was a tough fight. I was meant to go out after. And I was
it's like a pro fight. Almost, like
it was. It was non-stop, and we had a good fight, and I ended up getting the win. That was probably my hardest fight. Yeah.
Brilliant. Did you, when you were boxing, did you like, because obviously you had 108 amateur fights, that's a hell of a lot of fights. Yeah. Would you say you got a concussion in any of your fights?
Nah, never. I didn't really ever get buzzed or hurt or anything. I've never been dropped or anything like that. But that's mad. That's mad. Yeah. To have had all them fights. I try not to get hit, you know what I mean? I try and...
No, it's brilliant. So, what about boxing for England? Like when you're boxing for England, how much did that kind of mean to you, but representing your country?
The first time I ever done it, that was one of the proudest moments of my life, you know what I mean? Well, it was at the time. Obviously now my son being born is that, but at the time that was like to get my first England vest. And then it's weird because you're around all these other kids from all different parts of the country, do you know what I mean? All different backgrounds, and you're all together as a team. You should go to these camps and then you'd fight. It was good, you know, and great experience.
It's a great experience. It's quite interesting with amateur boxing because you don't professional boxing, because you don't like, you are representing England, but you're like in the Olympics, for example, all of the best tennis players or whatever, runners, athletics, they represent England. Whereas as a pro, not really gets much said about representing England, does it?
No, it's like, more just
but like effectively, if you're boxing for the European title, you are representing England, aren't you? Yeah. Or if you box for the Commonwealth, you're representing England.
Yeah.
But for some reason, it doesn't
go like that. No, unless it's for the world titles. A lot of times, if an Englishman's fighting for a world title, the English people get behind him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. In terms of your England fights that you had, what was like your best performance boxing for England, would you say? Because you boxed for England
10 times. I boxed for England, yeah.
So which was your best performance boxing for England, if you look back on it?
I don't know about best performance, but probably the best win I had was against a kid called Sam Hickey from Scotland. It was actually my second to last amateur fight.
Really?
Yeah, because at the time I was going to turn pro, but it weren't really working out. Then I got a call to fight him, and I thought, do you know what, I'll do that instead, because nothing was really working. Did you have to
go to him?
No, they come down to us. We boxed in Wigan. Kid called Sam Hickey.
Brilliant.
Good fighter he is, from Scotland. I beat him. Close fight. Yeah. Got the win. Then that next year, I think he moved up after. He was at 69, moved up to 75. Then he won a gold at the Commonwealth Games.
Oh, wow.
Straight
and
after,
you beat him?
Yeah, and I beat him. Yeah,
wow, that's a good win.
That's a good win,
That's a great win. Yeah. If he's moved up a weight.
When he moved up to 75 and won the gold. Not sure what he's doing now, but I think he's still on the squad and that. So
yeah, he's still amateur.
Yeah, still amateur. He moved up to 81s this year. So I'm not sure. I think he'll make a good pro. So maybe he should turn over.
Well, he's many weight categories higher
he's a
bit now,
bit too big for me now.
Yeah. So let's get on to the pros then.
Yeah.
So you're 8-0, currently undefeated, which is awesome. What's your thoughts looking back now on your last fight against Darren Tetley? What do you think of your performance as a whole? Overall,
I think it was a real good performance. Yeah. It's a performance that I knew I was always capable of doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see an interview I see a little clip of an interview that he done saying that I'm only taking the fight because he's lost a couple of fights or something. Yeah. And if he'd beat one of the fighters, would I have took the fight? Well, I would have took the fight. Do you know what I mean? Because it's in me. You know what I mean? I'm like that sort of way. And
you're trying to break through as well.
Yeah, that's it. So. And that fight, I felt like I performed really well. Only gutting thing is, it was on like a smaller hall show.
Yeah.
I felt like that could have been on a televised show. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of people took notice of the win, and a lot of people, my supporters, they saw it, whatever. But if that was on, say, Sky Sports, Channel 5, The Zone, and everyone was tuning in, I think that would have really excelled pushed me out there a little bit.
I thought I'm not kissing your ass, but generally when I watched it, I thought you boxed a little bit like Errol Spence.
Yeah, well,
because you like tucked in, and
it's a weird one, because when I first turned pro, I didn't really like boxing. Do you know what I mean? I didn't watch no boxing, and I just didn't really like it. I loved doing it, just not watching it.
Yeah.
Then I had a bit of time out. I got messed about and whatever. I was out for like 18 months, but we can go over that. And, that time off made me realise that, wow, I need boxing, do you know what I mean? And I missed it so bad, and I actually loved the sport. Then I started watching it more in that time off from boxing. Obviously I was still in the gym, but I actually started studying a little bit. He was one of the fighters that I studied. Errol Spence. Terence Crawford is another one. I like Errol Spence because of his body work, and I feel like he's a big welterweight, and I'm pretty big welterweight. Can use his presence southpaw, do you know what I mean? But technically, I like to watch Terence Crawford and things like that. So, yeah, I try and impose my style, sort of like Errol. Sort of, you know what I mean?
To me, I mean, I didn't even know that you thought that, but to me, it looked like Errol Spence-esque.
Yeah, because I like to watch him and see like his body work and things like that. But obviously, when you look and he fought Terence Crawford, I studied both of them for that fight, and I sort of knew that was going to happen with the Crawford fight because he's a bit more naturally like thingy.
Well, I think the problem is with Errol, since he rolled his Ferrari 10 times,
it's just not the same guy, is he? No. You know?
But he's and also he come up against
an elite, like he's elite as well. But there's. I
mean, he's taken out everyone, hasn't he? He's taken out Brook, taken out Khan, so maybe Canelo. I mean, they're talking about him potentially fighting Canelo.
I think he could do him.
Mate, you could see it, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think he might do it.
But yeah, obviously Canelo's a lot bigger, but I'm assuming they would pull Canelo down in weight a little bit. And was you disappointed that it ended in the 4th round against Darren?
No, because I got a good win. You know what I mean? I think I broke his eye sockets and he couldn't come out. So it's a good win for me. But I wouldn't say a slow starter, but I'm not the quickest of starters, and I get better as the rounds go on. So when they do finish, I would like them to carry on because I know I'm getting better. I'm getting into my groove. And if you watch the fight like you did, I feel like every round I was getting better.
100%. Yeah.
So not gutted because I'm happy that he's an earlier night. Do you know what I mean? He's better. Do you know what I mean? So, but
is that what he did? Broke his eye socket?
I either broke it or fractured it. Yeah. So
but he come over to you after and was like, well done,
he was.
Like,
listen, he was a good man. Do you know what I mean? He still messages me now. I chat to him. Like he had a lot. Like he bigged me up a lot. Do you know what I mean? And I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, he's a good fighter. And people like him are what people like you need. You know, you've got to catch people on the.
Well, you think because I'm only at the time I was 7-0.
Yeah.
And he was. I don't even know what it is.
He's had 25 fights.
25, 26 fights, you know what I mean? A couple of years ago, I fought for the British title. So people probably thought, God, that's a bit mad.
Well, let's be honest, you dealt with him easy.
Yeah, that's...
Let's be honest, like no disrespect to Darren,
no.
But, you know, let's be honest.
Yeah.
You know, it was only going to go one way, wasn't it, after you first seen it? So what no disrespect to you, by the way, Darren, big up. What would you say is the biggest difference you have found now in your 4th year as a pro from professional boxing to amateur boxing?
I just think it's a completely different sport.
Really?
Yes, mad. Like there's a lot of good amateurs that turn pro and they can't seem to push on as a pro. They're all right for 3-4 rounds and they can't don't do any more rounds, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just most of the pro game, if you can take a punch, you're fit and you're dedicated, you don't cheat, you do everything to the ball, you can go a long way, do you know what I mean?
And you've got to just go and go.
You just got to keep going.
In
in the amateurs, you can cheat a little bit. If you're naturally gifted, you can win 2 rounds and lose when you win, you know what I mean? A lot of naturally gifted kids can't do it in the pro because they're cheaters, you know? And
what do you mean? But by cheating, you mean like they've got tricks that they can get by on?
No, I think just in training and they ain't got the mental strength to do this. This pro game's hard. Do you know what I mean? And what I've noticed is, especially since I've moved and joined a new gym, I've obviously I'm at Box Smart Elite and I train down at BCB as well in the day, and I'm around. Box Smart is my head coach Shiny.
Yeah.
So our gym's full of like prospects, good fighters, young fighters up and coming. It's a good gym. I go down BCB as well. That's got fighters like Liam Davis, Tyler Denny, Zach Parker. Do you know what I mean? So these are all good fighters, the European champions. I think Liam's fighting for a world title soon. So you're there and you see the mindset of them fighters. And I think that's the difference from, I don't know, it's just crazy. Like the mindset is in the pro game so much different to the amateurs. It's a hard game.
What's the difference between, I know people say, it's different when you put the little gloves on, but how different is it to like, those professional 10-ounce gloves?
Yeah. How
different is it to the 10-ounce amateur gloves?
Yeah, a lot different. As soon as you put them in, you can feel your knuckles, you know what I mean? And it is a little bit like, it's nice because you think, I could smash someone with these, but they can hit you back.
They can smash you as well. Your opponent's thinking the same thing, isn't it?
But then
you were both at the same time thinking, I can't wait to smash each other with these.
But the amateur gloves are a bit more pillowy and padded and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Look, if you put one of them on, the pro gloves is a bit mental, but it's better because you get to hit them and hurt them more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and obviously the wraps are different as well. Those the bandages. So I
Yeah,
suppose
they do all the tape, the bandages, the like the padding or whatever.
that makes you hit harder. I feel because you like
your hands throbbing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you fill the glove up.
That actually got me injured though. My
Really?
first fight, my first pro fight, I was afloat. So that means you get a TV slot, but you don't know when you're fighting.
Yeah.
And I've done quite a lot of tickets on my debut. So they put me on dead last, yeah.
What, to keep people there?
I think so.
Of course.
Yeah. And
typical. You sat there in the gloves for 5
I
hours.
had the gloves for 5 hours, the tape, and then obviously first fight I split my tendon and ruptured 2 ligaments in my knuckle, yeah.
Oh wow.
But at the time I didn't know. I thought it was just bruised sort of thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's the tape and that. You have to make sure you time it right. You don't want to really be a.
You don't want to be in for too long.
Nah.
Because I suppose the blood swells.
Yeah, the blood and all that. Yeah.
Yeah. You're currently ranked number 10 in the country.
Yep.
When we first spoke about doing this podcast, you were ranked number 16th.
Yeah.
So you've gone up. You've.
I think that fight against Darren Tetley's pushed me up there. Do you know what I mean? Because he's a well-respected fighter, especially in the welterweight division. Do you know? So I think that's what's pushed me up.
And it's a good division as well.
Yeah, especially domestically.
Yeah,
domestically, there's some real good fighters. Especially there's obviously fighters behind me, but I look forward. Do you know what I mean? Like I want the people in the top 10 now. Like,
yeah,
I'd like to push myself and.
I don't know if you can answer this because where would you put yourself in the top 10 at the moment?
Number one.
So we got Elliot Whale, Danny Ball, Cyrus Patterson, Ethan James. Is it Connor Walker?
Yeah.
Michael McKinson.
Yeah.
Eco Esserman, Harry Scarf, Connor Ben, Lewis Crocker.
Yeah.
So obviously you've jumped from 16 to 10.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, if you could pick who you would box, fantasy thing.
Yeah.
If you could pick who you would box next in that top 10.
So realistically,
box?
I'm fighting March the 1st.
Yeah.
A little 6th rounder, I think, just to run out, let them have a little look at me and things like that. On Channel 5. So I'm fighting then. March the 16th, Ethan James is fighting Owen Cooper for the English title.
Okay, number 7.
Yeah, so he's fighting for the English title. So that's a fight I'd love, the winner of them.
So will you go to that?
I might do because that's the fight. Well, no, I'm going to go to that because Liam Davis is fighting for his world title then.
Yeah,
and obviously
brilliant.
I train with him. So
you got to go as well. You got to get in the mix.
Yeah, have a little thing. So I'm gonna go there, watch him. But obviously I'll be keeping a close eye on that.
Yeah.
Also, you got Connor Walker. That one's a little bit not awkward, but he's managed by the same manager I am. So they'll probably try to keep us away until it probably makes sense. Maybe.
Is he the one that beat Cyrus?
Yeah. So he boxed. He got he's not signed by no one.
Connor.
No. But he gets put on, like Eddie Hearn put him on his shoulder to fight Cyrus. He took his opportunity, beat Cyrus.
Obviously not meant to win.
No, I don't think so. You know what I mean? Like I think Cyrus was a champion. He needed defense. They picked Connor.
Yeah, and Cyrus is good. He was
fighter,
a great amateur.
Really good amateur. Yeah. So
good. He's southpaw, isn't he?
Southpaw. Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, sometimes the good amateurs or the great amateurs, they don't make great pros. I think he is a good fighter.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
It's boxing.
Boxing is boxing.
It's boxing, isn't it? So, and also, as we said, like someone can be brilliant, but also someone else has got their story, and they're fighting for their livelihood. They're fighting for their livelihood, and the unfortunate thing with boxing is it's not like a football match where you get to play a football match every week.
Yes,
you could win 7 times out of 10, but the 3 times out of 10 was the one that was on television.
Yeah, the important ones. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the important ones. So, and I suppose that's when there is an element of gambling with it, I guess, in terms of how you can come out on top in them gambles.
Yeah.
So you're boxing out of Box Smart Elite Gym in Birmingham.
Yeah.
Have you felt any benefits being up there to your training Monday to Thursday and actually having like a camp away?
Yeah.
Because it must be hard being away from your family, obviously.
Yes.
But have you seen any benefits of that?
100%. If you look at my last 2 performances, my first one was back in October after 18 months off, and I boxed all right. I thought I boxed well. The commentary was saying that you couldn't even tell that I had the layoff. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's thanks for my team and the training that I've been doing up there.
Yeah.
Then obviously
sparring hard.
very hard sparring, just very hard the daytime when I train with BCB boys, my manager's gym, Errol Johnson, that's some serious graft there. Do you know what I mean? That's hard. Really? The first time I went there for the week, the first week I'd done in Birmingham or Walsall is, I come back Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I didn't train. I was knackered. It was such a complete shock to my system. Like, I used to think, this is another thing, like, I used to think I was really dedicated and I used to think I was a real hard worker. I am. Yeah. But then it made me realise, like, wow, there's so much more I could give. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's weird from when I first went to Nemesis, yeah, from 7 years old to when I first won my first national title, 15, I was so dedicated, yeah, like I lived and breathed boxing. Then after that, all just sort of, when it should have kicked on, I sort of went the other way.
I hear that. It's crazy, yeah. Since doing this podcast and speaking to professional boxers, bro, I've found that with literally everyone I've spoke to. It's almost like now they have to manage themselves and they're their own boss to a certain extent. And
it was weird, and I sort of went the other way. And then from like 17 to even like 22, 23, I probably weren't as dedicated as what I should have been. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And still dedicated.
No, very dedicated. There was another but there's way more to give. You know what I mean? Like there was a lot more to give.
Yeah. Well, you're not the only. In fact, I've not met anyone that I've spoken to like openly who said that when they first. Do you think it's partly down to when you turn pro? You think right, the next couple of years are going to be a touch.
Well,
because you almost go down a level at the start,
well down a level, yeah. But see, if you look at my record now, I'm 8-0. 4 of them had winning records. 2 of them are unbeaten. I'm not here to fight them, gentlemen. I didn't like that. Do you know what I mean? They don't make you look good. I like to test myself. I get it's a business, and I don't want to just rush into fights. But I'm ready for certain fighters, and do you know what I mean? I know I believe in my own ability, so I didn't turn pro to think, gonna have a couple of years easy now. I just, for whatever reason, I don't know what it was, I weren't fully committed to boxing, do you know what I mean? I was probably just doing other things.
Life, kids,
life,
family.
And just everything, I don't know, just doing the wrong things.
How amazing that you figured that out now at 26.
That's
You're 26 now?
26,
You've got your whole career ahead of you. How great you figured that out at 26 rather than 36.
It's crazy, when I'm done. And do you know what I mean? Yeah, like, because now 26, I'm a young 26, like I'm a clean athlete. Like basically since my kid was born, my little boy, that's like a massive life changing moment for me. The time off from boxing, the 18 months off, to get mucked about with contracts, and just I thought at one point I was gonna have to retire. Do you know what I mean? And then it really made me realise that I need boxing, and made me assess that maybe I probably weren't as dedicated as what I should have. And
well, I would imagine you go from thinking you've got forever to now you go, oh, I'm only 4 years away from 30.
Yeah, that's it.
So and all of a sudden there's a countdown.
And I weren't even fighting, and I couldn't get nothing, and I was getting mucked about left, right, and centre. And I thought, wow, am I gonna have to retire? Like that honestly, I thought I was gonna retire.
Yeah, I can only imagine the stress that professional boxers go through. But look, that's why at the top you get paid so much. And people deserve it, don't they?
Definitely deserve it, because like I say now, the going to Walsall, going up there, the best move I could have ever made for my career.
It clearly works, because if it didn't work, the amateur system wouldn't do it.
No, yeah.
Getting a man or a woman locked in for 4 days a week to basically
beast them, yeah, train hard and get the right sparring. But obviously financially,
it's expensive.
It's like a flip of double-header coin. You know what I mean? Like for my career, it's the best thing I could have done. Yeah. Financially, it's the worst thing I could have done. Yeah. Like I lost the main sponsor at the time. I've got a couple others, so I could make the move, but like
the stress of it.
It's stressful, you know what I mean? I just had a baby when he was like 3 months old when I went up there. My missus has a good job, but she has to like sort of change her work clients around for me to try and chase this thing that I've been doing.
That's why I appreciate you being here today, bro. Yeah. I know how valuable your time is, mate.
And even like my first 2 fights back have been small hall shows, which means you have to sell tickets to fight. Yeah. So the first one, fine, all good. I done all right. My second one, I thought it was only 7 weeks after my last fight in October.
Yeah, times are up.
Big fight, as well. And I thought, here we go, I'll do well here, massive fight. But then obviously it was 8th of December, Christmas work, no one really could come. Yeah. And I didn't really know Obviously, I'm not pulling out the fight, so I had to pay $3,000 of my money to fight him.
Wow.
Yeah, because obviously the geezer it was, good fighter, has a set wage what he wants to earn. Do you know what I mean? And you have to pay them. Like, you have to pay your opponent. You have to pay everything. It's hard.
Yeah.
And
what I would say though, is that with boxing, if you are still fit and strong in your like early 30s, for example, that's when you do see people get them touches and get them opportunities. But not enough people stay in it for long enough to get them touches.
Because it's hard. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to stay in it when you're not really earning money or like. I don't know. It's a hard game.
You're investing.
Yeah.
You're investing 20 years to get a return in 3 years at the end.
Yeah, that's it really. That's where most people get their paydays. With
nothing guaranteed.
No, nothing's guaranteed.
I mean, a great example, and I know John Ryder's always been like a big star, for example, but John Ryder, like in the last couple of years, he's had some big paydays, you know, but he's stuck with it. A lot of people say how much he stuck with it. Yeah. People forget those early days for John Ryder.
And they just see that, he's fought Canelo and got a load of dough, and now he was grafting. Because he's probably had some hardship along the way, you know what I mean?
Like, definitely has, yeah.
So that's what... That last fight was an investment for me. I knew when I was working out, I knew I had to pay my money. I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it, get a good win. Hopefully it thingies. And I feel like it has, because I'm now fighting Channel 5 on a big show in Telford. So
I feel like because you're like, so technically you'd be a free agent, right?
Yeah, right now I am, yeah.
So I feel like I obviously don't know, like, whatever, but I'm just saying what I think, innit? But I think that your opportunity is going to come by someone maybe trying to catch you out, you not being ready. Yeah, little bit like what, not saying they caught him out, but like what Conor grasped with Cyrus.
Yeah, I think that's
where your opportunity.
One of the bigger promoters will want me to fight one of their fighters.
You just got to be ready all the time.
But I stay ready. You know what I mean? I'm in
even
the gym.
Even if you stay at like 80%.
Yeah, I'm in the gym 24/7.
Your opportunity will come, bro. You know, and you're going to get it anyway. With like obviously you're on the Wasserman Boxing Channel 5, but there will be a chance where Warren or Eddie call up and
say like, do you want to fight him or whatever? And I'll be ready to take the opportunity.
That's and I think, unfortunately, some people that haven't got that huge promotional backing, when their opportunity comes, unfortunately they're not ready. Yeah. And I feel
sometimes it might come 4 weeks out, or do you know what I mean, a couple of weeks out.
Well, it does.
Yeah, it does. That's what they try to get.
They're going to give you 8 weeks.
No, of course not. But obviously, I stay in the gym like since like the time off. That time off, when I was getting mucked about, that was proper long. That was.
Do you want to go into that? Would you rather not?
No, I can do. So I was with MTK. Yeah. They looked after me real good. They was fine. Fight deal, everything was good. They got shut, forced out of boxing. I fought in April 2022. 3 days later, the company gets shut down. Which is a shame, because the amount of fighters they had, and do you know what I mean? Like they were good for boxing.
There were so many fighters.
Loads. And at the time, my coach, close with Queensbury, sort of, I got promised a fight deal and whatever. So I signed a manager's contract, and then they're saying, you can fight on these small shows just to get out. You haven't fought a couple of fights. I said, yeah, to doing it. I didn't really want to. Maybe a bit of ego. I thought I was better than that. Do you know what I mean?
You had 108 amateur fights, boxed for England 10 times.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I felt like, at the time, I thought, I'm better than that level. But I done it anyway. Then both fights got cancelled fight week. Then they're saying,
so demotivating.
It's just long. And then they're saying, look, we can put you on another show in March. At the time, I was meant to fight in February, it got cancelled in March. I said, no, I want to sign this deal that I've been getting promised and mucked about for. Well, not mucked about, I've just been getting told for ages that there's a deal there. When
you need
really
some sort of you need some sort of that you can plan your life.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, and at the time, my missus was pregnant, you know what I mean? And obviously my coach knew that, and he's friendly with them. And if there was really like no deal there, just say, you know what I mean? Then I can say, all right, we can forget that and try and get elsewhere. But it just got dragged out for so long. Then obviously when I said about signing a deal that was meant to be there, everything went quiet. So I got released from manager's contract.
Well, at least you got released.
Luckily, because I thought I was going to get...
Because they can, I've heard stories
they
of where
just
they don't
hold you, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I thought, and I just signed it, it's like a 3-year thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got released, so I'm thankful for that. and then it sort of opened my eyes up that I wanted in the right environment, wanted in the right gym.
Yes, it must have been a massive move to Birmingham.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You're like a proper local lad around your area, like, you know. So it's like, and you've been there your whole life.
Yeah, my whole life.
Like, obviously. So it must have been a massive. Well, it is a huge commitment.
It's
to be
a
able
massive
to do
commitment.
that.
Yeah.
But it's great that you're in that routine with it. What does a training? So what does a like Monday to Thursday?
Yeah.
What does a weekly camp like? What does a training week look like for you at the moment?
So
is it structured?
It is. So Monday morning, I train in my area, a gym, fitness gym.
Yeah.
Either do some cardio, swimming, not weights, but like strength conditioning, whatever's planned. Then I go up to Walsall after. I
normally do your first session.
Yeah, first session in our area. Then we drive up there. Then I normally get there for about 2:00. First session's at 4. I normally spar on a Monday. Tuesday, then we go to the running track. That's horrible. Morning, 10 a.m.
Is it on an athletics track?
Yeah, on an athletics track. That's killer.
Sprints.
Yeah, sprints. Real hard work. I won't say what we do because I don't want to give the opponents I don't want them to copy us, you know what I mean? But it's hard work.
How many of you are there?
Well, the whole whoever turns up really. There's last couple of times there's been quite a few of us, you know what I mean? So it's good. You're always trying to race and compete with each other, do you know what I mean? It's like a healthy competition.
I tell you who does that wicked is Tony Sims's club.
Yeah,
I see them posting their track work.
They did.
But sorry. So
Tuesday we do track. Then I normally go to box smart in the evening again, do some technical work or do a bit of boxing. Wednesday in the morning sparring
every Wednesday sparring.
Yeah, normally I do Monday and Wednesday sparring. So either 8 rounds, 6 rounds. I try to get 8 out.
Are you sparring people in the gym or people coming in?
So Monday I normally spar people in the gym. Normally do rounds in, but on a Wednesday we get people coming in from all different gyms.
Are you taking lumps out of each other on the Monday?
Nah.
Or is it kind of quite, because I see you got a black eye there.
Yeah, that's on a Wednesday.
Someone's giving you a shiner this week.
Yeah. To be honest, this week I had to spar Tyler Denny, who's European champion, but they're like a couple of weights above me. You know what I mean? But we had a good spar. We sparred quite a few times, to be fair.
How do you sit at that level at the moment? Because he's heavier and European.
Yeah.
How do you get on?
I'm ready for. This is what I'm saying. See, like people like Tyler, and he's like a good friend now. Like, but when he first turned pro, you would never have thought he'd win a European title. He would never have thought that. But he's just sheer grafted, hard work. That's the difference in the pro game. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's took a lot of opportunities. Had to fight on the road. Like, do you know what I mean? Fights that people probably written him off, and he's got the job done. Do you know what I mean? And real good fighter, and it just shows hard work does pay off. You know what I mean? And
how old is he?
32.
There you go.
Yeah. So
there you go.
Hopefully now he won the European not long ago now. So
What about Thursdays? So Wednesday.
Yeah, so Wednesday sparring and then back in the boxing gym in the evening. Thursday I go boxing in the morning for a conditioning session. It's like just hard circuit training, boxing. Then I go and do a recon. It's the place called the Recon. It's like a mountain, like a hill in Telford. Yeah, so it's only like I think it's like a mile and a half up, mile and a half down. But I go up, down.
You do 6 miles.
Yes, no 10. No, 1.5, not 1.5k.
Okay, yes, yeah. So 6k you do.
No, 10k is.
Oh,
what's
right.
that?
Yeah, 10k's 6
miles,
isn't it?
That's right. So it's 1.5 miles up. Sorry. And
would you do it in an hour?
Yeah, so it takes me about. The quickest I've done is like 55 minutes.
It's fast.
Yeah, it's quick, but it's not high, it's steep from the get-go. You know what I mean? It's a tough run.
Are you doing that on your own?
Well, no. Recently I have.
Yeah.
Recently I've been doing it because a couple of the boys from my gym got injuries, but
can't imagine it's one people want to do, is it?
Nah, it's not. It's a tough one.
It's the one people got a bad Achilles for, isn't it?
But no, one of the boys, he's signed to Matchroom, Aaron Bowen, good fighter. He was on the GB squad and that, and he's got quite a bad injury. But I was doing it with him quite a lot. Another one of the boys from the gym, Hamza, we do it quite a bit. Now there's even do it with like a heavyweight that we've just got come down. He runs up and down.
He does it.
He comes up and down. But obviously we do it at our own pace, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he gets it done.
Good for him.
But it's a tough run.
That's hard work if you're 16 stone doing that, mate. I'm like you, I can imagine.
Honestly, it's a real hard run. And I do that and then I drive home.
That's you done
that's
for the
me
week.
done. But then obviously when I'm back, I train.
Yeah, so I was going to say, so then what do you do Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah, so obviously today I trained in the morning to come here, chill out. Or normally I'll just go home, chill out. Either Saturday morning, it just depends with what my missus is doing with work-wise. Because she needs to get clients in. I look after my boy if she's at work.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll just normally do a run Saturday or swim Saturday night, something like that. And then Sunday again training or...
God, it's a lot, isn't
it? Yeah, it is a lot. Yeah, sometimes if I'm feeling it, I might have if she's working on like a Friday, I might have Friday off. You know what I mean? And then Saturday and Sunday I'll train again, then back up Monday. Yeah.
What about recovery?
Yeah, so...
Are you doing any saunas or any like ice baths, plunge pools or anything like that?
I don't really do the ice baths. I do cold shower a day. I don't mind a cold shower, and I try getting a massage, or I need to try and stretch myself. Really, that's the main thing. As I've got older, I've tried to stretch a bit more, because before I used to just finish and go. Obviously now I'm trying to stretch in the hotel and all that. I've got nothing else to do. You know
but
what
that's
I mean?
a good thing to do in a day.
Yeah, so I try and do. Yeah, I try and do it. Yeah, so.
It's got to be lonely up there on your own though, bro.
Yeah,
it's a big commitment.
Yeah, it's a big commitment. But obviously I'm on the FaceTime. I get to see my missus and my little boy on the FaceTime.
It's all for a cause.
This is what I try and say, because obviously it's hard. Like my missus is supportive, because obviously she's changing her work schedule for me to. But obviously sometimes when you're not earning the dough, and it's hard for them to realise, do you know what I mean? Like, but I know what I'm doing it for. I know what I'm capable of getting. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Like, I believe in myself. I believe I'll be a world champion.
Yeah.
And I know what's coming in 5, 6, 7, 10 years time. I know what's coming to me.
It's just very difficult with boxing, where you got to have that investment in the front end, but you just got to remember that it does happen. There'll be an opportunity at 28, 29,
it's gonna
opportunity
happen.
at 30. When I was speaking to Joe Hughes the other day, and I love Joe. I know Joe since I've been 14 or whatever, and Joe could get another opportunity even now potentially, but these opportunities, I think Joe maybe might fight again, but I just think that if you got to begin with the end in mind and know that your window for cashing in is 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, and everything you're doing is preparation, investing. You're just watering that plan, that plan.
Just persevering, do you know what I mean? Through all the shit that I've gone through in my pro career, do you know what I mean? It's not been a smooth ride, do you know what I mean? It's been a tough ride, injuries. I've been pro for 4 years. I've only boxed 2 of them years. Or even coming up to 5 years now. Yeah. I've only boxed like 2 years of them. 8 fives. It's been hard, but I know where I'm going to get to. Do you know what I mean? And I know if I live a clean life, which I've been doing now, I could even look at Crawford. He's 36. And just earning big money.
Well, that's the other thing with boxing as well, is like, I feel that we still think, happening with football as well, where like when a boxer's 30, you start writing them off. But that's just not the case anymore. Humans are, as an athlete, as a product, they're getting more out of themselves.
Yes. If you just look at how people live their life, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, exactly.
People like you see Cristiano Ronaldo.
Yeah.
How old is he?
Fine.
He's
old, but he's sweet,
and he's still smashing in goals and looks good, doesn't he? You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, I think that's what it comes down to. If you've abused your body or you've not lived the right life, let's say. Yeah. When you get to 32, you might be a bit haggard, but some people can go on.
Yeah, and also as well, what you lose a little bit physically, you gain a bit mentally as well.
And experience and things like that.
Look at people like Anthony Crolla later on in his career. Look how much better. I mean, there's loads of examples. Loads, Tony Bellew, for example. Look how well. I mean, if like Tony Bellew beat David A, you'd have never thought he was going to beat David A.
Not back in the day.
But he grew and he got, and he obviously learned and stuck at it. And like even people like Tony Bellew, people just assume that he's like a massive success story, which he now is. But
he is now.
He had a long period in his career where he struggled.
And even he had got fucked about a bit with. I'm sorry for the swearing.
It's alright, man.
Yeah, no, he got fucked about a bit with contracts and things with Warren, and do you know what I mean? So he hasn't had it's not all been like a high life for him.
Not
you know what I mean? Boxing ain't like that. It's not meant to be like that. Do you know what I mean?
But people got that. The key is you just got to remember 28, 29, 30.
Yeah, that's it.
That's your chance to cash it in and be ready for that opportunity.
Definitely.
When you obviously you're 6'1".
Yeah, 6 foot. I thought
6 foot.
There,
right, 6 foot.
They put the 6'1" in.
6'1".
Yeah, but I don't feel that tall.
No, on when you were 13 or 12, you were about 4 foot.
Yeah, I was tiny. Yeah.
But How do you? I know you said you haven't made welterweight. Have you made? You haven't.
I have. I made it for my debut.
You made it for your debut.
I made it for my debut, and then after that, I was getting matched at like 10 stone 10.
You don't look like you look like someone who's bigger than a welterweight.
Yeah. I'm a big welter. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm a big welter, but I think if you look at my legs, they're not like they're not massive. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
they're quite thin.
If you can make the weight,
and I think that's how I make the weight. I've got a good nutritionist, Kate Shillan.
Well, that's what I was going to ask.
Yeah.
What does dieting look like for you? You know, so let's say, you're, what are you now, 8 weeks out? No, 6 weeks
4
out.
weeks, 4 weeks a day. 4 weeks a day, yeah.
4 weeks out. So what is your diet like at the moment?
To be honest, it's more about, I eat, I fuel for training, do you know what I mean? So my nutritionist will load me up with carbs and I'm eating good and I eat good and just to try and, I don't know, give me the best training session I can.
So you still have would you still have 3 meals a day?
3 meals a day, a couple of snacks,
like
healthy
fish
snacks.
And stuff like that?
Yeah, so I've a bit of everything, fish, chicken, turkey, things like that. And then it's only really fight week that the fibre gets taken out, salt gets taken out.
Yeah, because they do it in a way that when you do reduce that, you just drop.
Yeah, you can lose like 2-3 kilos just by taking out certain things of your diet.
Yeah, temporarily.
Going from brown pasta rice to white pasta rice. Do you know what I mean? It's weird. Look, it's quite clever. Do you know what I mean? But
it's very clever.
Obviously, I'm not the smartest person. I just let her.
Well, you're
do
lucky
her
if
job.
you've got someone to.
Yeah.
Is that with that gym that you've got?
No, I had her before. To be fair, I had her. Don't know how long we've been working together now. But to be honest, when I first turned pro, I didn't really struggle with weight. I was always walking around quite close. It weren't really thingy. Now, I don't struggle about it. I'm obviously heavier, you know. Do you know what I mean? I'm a bit bigger. So my first fight back, I had to make 10 stone 8, and I hadn't done that for a good maybe four years.
Yeah.
And I come back obviously after the layoff. I was about 76 kilos. So it was
and that's fairly lean still as well.
I'm not fat. No, that's because of my body type. See, some welters probably are 76 kilos, but they're they got it there to lose. When you look at me at 76 kilos, I just look a bit thicker. I'm still muscly, you know what I mean?
You look like a middleweight.
I just look bigger, you know what I mean? And so that first one was pretty hard, but then when I come back to the gym, I was 73.5. So then the next weight cut weren't bad at all. Yeah. So
I remember seeing your weight on the board when you were little. Because we would used to have to write our weights on the board.
Yeah.
I might be wrong here, but I'm pretty sure you were like 39
Yeah,
sometimes.
so when I was about 14, I probably was around that.
Yeah, like 36. I remember seeing the 30s. I remember thinking, how is this kid only 30 kilos?
Yeah, because I think that was when I was, what's that?
You had to weigh in every session,
every session, yeah. I still do that now. I weigh in every day, yeah.
Do you really?
So it's a bit of a... I don't like to do it because sometimes especially when you're coming up to fights, you know, like if I've drank a bit too much water, not a bit too much water, but you know, like sometimes you've had a bit more water intake, step on the scales, you're a bit heavier, it's a bit draining mentally, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when I was about 12, 13, was in the schoolboys, I was doing under 38s and then under 40s.
Yeah, it's incredible. Who's the best person you've ever sparred?
Oh.
I don't know if you just said, but yeah, who's in all your sparring, who's the best person?
Probably at the time, Josh Taylor.
I sparred Josh Taylor.
So actually, I went and sparred Chris Congo down at Shane. He was at Shane McGuigan's at the time, so we had a couple of rounds of him, and then I done pretty well there. And Shane said, "Look, we're fighting Victor Postel." So he wasn't a world champion yet, but he was fighting Victor Postel, and I was like, "You're pretty tall. He's tall. Do you want to come and spar Josh Taylor?" So I done 2 6 rounds of him, 2 lots of 6 rounds with Josh, and then obviously after that he beat Victor Postel. Then obviously he went and cleaned up, didn't he? Like he was a good fighter.
Just sorry to butt in, mate, but about Chris Congo, did he have an older brother?
Obed.
So
he's got another. He's got 2. I think he's got 2 older brothers.
Did he? Obed never turned pro, did he?
Nah, he was a good fighter. He was. Yeah.
I watched him in the ABA.
Yeah, that's it. So
he
was
Horsfield. Place
so
he was talking about.
I think he must have won the ABA. He's on the GB and all that. He was real good.
He was real good.
But I think he's back now. He's with Mullins and that. He's with Sam. Sam's a pro trainer, and I think he helps out of him now. So
he was a wicked amateur.
Yeah, he's a good fighter. He was.
Yeah, he actually, I think he boxed someone from Nemesis. Oh, you know what, bro? I can remember who he boxed. Who's that guy from Nemesis? He was a slim guy, mixed race guy, had like dreadlocks.
Dennis.
Had long. He was wicked. Always fighting all the time. Dennis Ashiga. Did he box him?
No, I don't know. I can't remember. I was young, you know what I mean? But I know Dennis, mate. Yeah.
Do you know who else was a good amateur? Dudley O'Shaughnessy.
Yeah, Dudley O'Shaughnessy. What a fighter he was. He won the ABAs and that.
He was dating Rihanna.
Yeah, I know.
You did Rihanna.
Yeah. He I actually sparred him. He obviously
You sparred him.
Yeah, so I was down the Peacocks when I was an amateur, and he come back. I don't know if he was making a comeback or what, but I sparred him for like 2 rounds because I used to go there when I was young. At the Peacocks, and I used to spar Denzel Bentley.
Yeah.
He was like 5'6" 6 knockouts at the time. I was like welter. He was a middleweight. Obviously, that's what he fights as a pro. And I sparred him for like 4 rounds, and we'd done our thing, or 6, whatever it was, and then I sparred that Dudley for a couple of rounds, but he won. He was just coming back, but yeah, he was a good fighter. He was.
Just remembered Dudley boxed Luke Gibb.
Did beat him?
Yeah, I think I was there.
Yeah.
That was in York Hall.
Yeah. That
I think he boxed Luke Gibb. Yeah.
Good fighter he was. He used to bang everyone out. He did.
Which one?
Dudley.
Yeah.
He used to knock people out.
Yeah. Luke Gibb was good.
Yeah, good fighter he was.
He had loads of fights.
Loads. He used to get to. I don't know if he won titles, but he got to like a couple of semis in the final and all that.
But he was another one who would be boxing regularly, committed to it. You know, like. Sorry, when you're talking about sparring, so would you say the best person that you sparred is Josh Taylor? You'd say
Josh Taylor, or even I sparred Luke Campbell for the Lomachenko fight.
Brilliant.
Yeah,
big southpaw.
Yeah. So
lightweight.
Big though. Big for lightweight.
I met Luke Campbell.
Yeah, nice geezer he is.
He's lovely, isn't he?
Yeah.
I met Luke Campbell with Terry Edwards when he was an amateur, before he won the what did Campbell win as an amateur before the Olympics? He won the Commonwealth. Yeah. And he was staying with Terry. Yeah. I've asked a few people that question about who's the best person they've sparred, and a lot of people mentioned Josh Taylor.
Yeah, he's good, especially at that time.
Was he strong or technical? Or?
Do you know what he was? I don't know about a bit like strong. Obviously he is, because when you look at his fights, he at that time he was knocking people out, and he had a good. I think he only had like 13 fights, world champion. That's had a good few knockouts. Yeah. When I sparred him, it was more like his little feints, and he'd get you into a corner without you realizing that I'm in a corner now. You know what I mean? Like, he was clever at that sort of stuff. But since he's left Shane, he's not been as effective, has he? But
no, I mean, I think he made a lot of money early on in his career.
Yeah,
and he probably doesn't spend it. He's probably savvy because he's Scottish, isn't he? Yeah. So he's probably super savvy, isn't he? Yeah. So he's probably sitting
doing
on.
All right,
he's doing all right, isn't he? You know?
And it gets hard, doesn't it? I suppose it probably gets hard to keep training on putting your body through it.
I think they're going to do the Jack Catterall rematch, but I think they're trying to work the money out, isn't they?
They've got because I think before he was saying the reason why he fought that Lopez, because the money that he got offered for Jack, the rematch weren't nowhere near as much as the Lopez fight, which is fair enough. You know what I mean? He's a prize fighter at the end of the day.
Well, it's difficult for Josh as well, because like obviously people say that Jack won, etc., but it must be hard to get motivated for a fight that you've got nothing to gain out of, have you?
Nah. So obviously he probably thought that was going to be an easy win, didn't he? So I don't know how hard he was training. I thought he lost the fight, to be honest. Yeah. I watched it. I did think he got beat, but
I thought they both won. It wasn't a very light.
They weren't like a massive. It weren't like a massively. I don't know if Jack just boxed really well, then it made you look more on what Jack was doing. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. Yeah.
What about Conor Benn's your weight?
Yeah.
By the time this podcast comes out, Conor would have fought.
Yeah.
But I know he's fighting Saturday.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Conor Benn as a boxer?
Another one who's sheer hard work, dedication. You know what I mean? I don't think he's the most naturally gifted fighter. No. Very explosive.
Yeah.
Again, I don't think he's naturally gifted, but hard work, and it's paid off staying in the gym, and you can't. It's hard, isn't it? Because you can't write him off, but then when it come out and all the cheating sort of thing, it's a bit of a
difficult, isn't it?
Yeah, it's hard to really. I just sort of forget about him now. Don't know.
My worry for Conor is, and again, not saying I know everything about boxing, I'm just giving you my opinion, but my worry is for Conor is that when he's so angry all the time, and his style, I think that he might be the type of person that gets to 28 and he's knackered. Yeah, because he's so aggressive and he's all the time.
He's on it all the time.
He's on it all the time. Yeah. Like, I worry that, I think they're doing the right thing. They got to go with him now.
Yeah,
because he's your age, isn't he?
I think he might. I think he might. I don't even know. He might be my age or a bit older. I'm not sure.
I think he might be your age. I think he's 26.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But
so.
I think that I think that he will, and I don't know. Obviously, I'm just giving my opinion. But I think if fizzle out by 30, I reckon he'll be knackered. If he ain't careful.
With him, he could, because of his name, and probably is his name. They can fight people like. There's some real good welterweights out there, right? Yeah. And at the time, you had the Olympic champion was signed with Eddie from Kazakhstan, I think.
Yusinov.
That's his name. Yeah. But now I don't think he's with him. But at the time, you could have matched these. But they're being clever with Conor. You know what I mean?
They don't want Yusinov and Ben, do they?
Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So they're gonna put him in with the Manny Pacquiao. He can generate a load of dough, so he can be a bit of a cash cow for himself. Eddie, for all, he's a good. Like, he don't really need to fight tough.
Hopefully, Conor's just like it on the camera, and he's actually really relaxed person.
Yeah.
So I've never met him. But
no, I haven't.
I just worried it like he just seems always very wound up all the time.
Yeah, he's very angry,
and I
isn't
think that can take it out of you. And I hope that doesn't happen because he's
exciting to watch.
He's great to watch.
Yeah, he is. He's a very exciting to watch. And he'll bang this geezer
about Saturday.
Yeah, he should do. He should do. Yeah.
Saturday.
That's what he's very explosive. He is good to watch. Sometimes the annoying thing with pro boxing is sometimes there's good fights out there to be made that don't get made, and do you know what I mean? And he's fought people that he should banjo out, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's had a couple of good matches. Like who was the bloke that he boxed was a world champion, the American guy, and
Chris Algieri.
That was a great matchup, lightweight coming up.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
good knockout. Great
knockout. You know, you can't, when you see things out, it's like, but Chris Algieri, I'd fucking knock Chris Algieri out. You know?
I do as well. I think you would. Not me. I think you would. Yeah. I think he'd knock me out, no problem. But I think you'd knock him out.
Do you know what I mean? So
it's having the opportunity of looking good in those fights as well. But he has capitalised. He's dedicated. I mean, Conor Ben was crap on his debut, wasn't he?
He boxed on the AJ undercard. He got dropped by a journeyman.
Yeah.
He nearly got beat by one, I think.
Paynard. He drew against.
That's it. He drew and then beat him. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But, I mean, on his debut, he was ponying.
So he has.
I think he even says he was ponying.
Yeah, like he has, and that's why I think he's worked so hard in the gym. So you can't.
Yeah.
Just the drug thing. That's a little bit like took away his sort of thing. In my opinion, because if I get caught doing anything like if something comes out that I've done what he's took, I'm getting a lifetime ban for sure. You know what I mean?
I think the difficulty with it as well is that because he did what he was just knocking people out left, right, and centre. It's like, but I mean, who knows?
No, you don't know. You can't. It's hard to say, isn't it? Because he's been cleared, so it is what it is. But
let's hope he keeps knocking people out.
Yeah, but his first fight back, he already fought, didn't he? And he didn't flatten that geezer. I don't. It went points.
Yeah, but hopefully it was because that guy was a Mexican. And had a granite chin, and you could get hit by a bat, and he would have been, you know. But I mean, let's see. But he's good. You know, he's well, basically, you've got a really good division.
Yeah,
you know, you've got a
great.
You've got a good division you're in. So I wanted to go through a couple of opponents.
Yep.
I know we touched on it earlier, but just a few opponents. Then just let me know what you think about you boxing, basically. Yeah. And the reason why I want to do this is because you've got to have a little chat about it. You've got to put it out there. Yeah. And, you know, they might see it. You never know. Something might get inspired by it one day, you know? So, Joe Laws.
Yeah.
What do you reckon about that fight?
That's a good fight. I boxed him in the amateurs, I did.
Yeah, I've watched it.
Yeah. So, we had a good fight in the amateurs.
That's a good fight.
Yeah, I did beat him. But, again, that's another fight. I think I've excelled a lot as a pro, you know what I mean? I think I'm a complete different fighter now.
Yeah.
So I do think I'll win that fight. But he's on his own little path. Like I chat to him now still. He's a proper good guy, you know what I mean? And
he had a great performance.
Yeah, he boxed Michael Hennessy.
That was it.
And he had like, 10 days notice. I like Joe. He's a good person, you know what I mean? And he's up and down the weights. I don't know what's he.
He's at middleweight.
I'm not sure what he's doing, but I don't think we'll cross paths, to be honest.
Well, I would like to see that.
Yeah, that'd be a good fight. Yeah.
And Cyrus Patterson.
Yeah,
obviously we spoke about him. Would you
I'd
box
fight
him?
I'd fight anyone.
Yeah.
There's not a fight like that I would not fight. You know what I mean? And there's not a fight I believe I can beat anyone in them rankings.
So this is a good one, Michael McKinson.
Yeah,
because he's the man that nobody wants.
Nobody wants to fight him.
No one wants him.
That's a tough one because again, it's clash of styles. Well. Yeah, it's very awkward. We sparred before actually at iBox, and another one who, when I was going through like not fighting and on Instagram, I might have been moaning and all that. He always used to comment on it and be like, "You're a good fighter." Like, do you know what I mean? So I've got a lot of respect for Mike. You know what I mean? But another fight, I'd fight him. Yeah,
that's a good fight, you know.
Yeah,
and I feel like as well, like these fights are genuinely, that is an awesome fight.
Yeah,
that is an awesome fight.
A lot of them fights there everyone in them top 10 rankings, they're real good fights to be made. So obviously get through my fight in March and then let my manager do his job. You know what I mean? And
I've got a few other names.
Yeah, go on.
I've got a few other names. Josh Kelly.
Yeah, that's a good fight. He's a weight above me now, though.
He's a weight above you, but he's with Wasserman, and you're on a Wasserman bill.
Yep.
Josh Kelly, potentially.
But I think the British champion is with Wasserman, Harry Scarf.
Okay, yes.
So if I could fight him, I'd fight him.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? Because that's for the British title. If I have to buy, like, obviously I said earlier about fighting for the winner of the English title.
Yeah.
But if I get opportunity, maybe like towards the end of the year to fight for the British title or whatever, I'll jump at that.
Yeah. What about Pat McCormick again in the pros? Sorry, did you box?
I boxed Luke.
Oh, Luke. Sorry, that's it. Yeah.
I boxed Luke. I'm not sure what he's doing, to be honest. I don't know what he's doing. I think he is turning pro, but he's a little bit lighter than me. I don't think he'll be fighting at welter. I think he might even make lightweight, to be honest. So I'm not sure. But his brother, who knows?
I want to see, like, I just feel like that people got to, there's great fights to be made. It doesn't matter what level they're at, but like they're competitive fights is what the sport needs.
Definitely.
And it's great. And not everyone's up for them, but I know you are. You're someone that is up for them.
A lot of people they're a bit worried about losing, because in boxing it is, if you lose, you go 2-3 steps back in your career. You get writ off a lot. But you mentioned Anthony Crolla earlier. Yeah. He lost a few fights, become world champion. You know what I mean? Yeah. I think if you're mixing it with the best fighters, and if you do come unstuck, it's not as bad. You know what I mean? Like, if I'd lost to Darren Tetley, that's a right kick in the balls. You know what I mean? I shouldn't lose that fight. You go and fight when you fight, let's say, I don't know, Terence Crawford, and you're in the fight and you give him a good and you get beat. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Like, you come back. That's how I think. There's certain levels and there's certain fights that I don't think a win defines your career, you know what I mean? Obviously, if you get beat by a journeyman or not Darren Taylor's not a journeyman, but you know what I mean? At that stage of my career, I can't lose that fight. Do you know what I mean?
Well, I'll tell you who that happened to was Brett Beeden.
Yeah.
He got beat,
a good fighter, wasn't he? He was at the iBox. Yeah, good fighter.
He was at the iBox. He boxed for Repton, didn't he?
Yeah,
he was amazing. Yeah. But Brett got beat quite early on, didn't he?
Yeah.
Like in a freak.
And against someone he shouldn't have got beat by. Then
he got chinned as well,
yeah,
didn't he?
It ruins your career, that.
I think, did he get stopped?
I'm not sure.
I think he got stopped. I might be getting mixed up with someone else, but Brett Beeden was a great amateur who obviously, got beat. But boxing's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a hard game. It just depends what level you're at and the fight that you're fighting. I don't think a loss defines you, but obviously I don't want to lose. I don't ever want to taste defeat as a pro now.
I'm just firing out names, but one more name I've got as well is Harlem Eubank. He's only one down, but if he moves up,
this is what I'm here. I'm not sure if I think he's moving up. You know what I mean? And,
that's an unbelievable fight.
And he's with Wasserman as well. Someone I've sparred a couple of times. Nice guy.
Everyone's a nice guy.
Everyone's a nice guy.
Business, baby.
It's business, you know what I mean?
Everyone's a nice guy. Listen, we're all mates. Everyone's mates.
At my stage of my career and what I've been through in my career, I need these opportunities, you know what I mean? Yeah. So you won't see me saying no to no one, you know what I mean? If I get an opportunity, I'm taking it.
Harlem comes across as a very gutsy person as well. I think he's...
Yeah, I feel like he's had the right fights for his career to build him up, you know what I mean? They've matched him well and he's beat who he's been put in front of him, and he's had the right fights at the right time to build him up and become a better fighter. But I feel like I'll win that fight anyway. Yeah,
there's just a couple of good fights that I'd like to see, but
we'll see what happens. Who knows? Let my manager do that.
That's it,
I'm ready. I'm ready to fight.
Absolutely. But I just thought there's a couple, because it's some of the best fights that happen are ones that you wouldn't automatically think of. Yeah. When I was going through the weight of below and the weight above, there was a couple on there I thought, I would,
that's a good
I wouldn't
fight.
have initially thought of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's only a couple of pounds either way potentially, isn't it? So when all is said and done, what for you would make the kind of sacrifice worth it for you in terms of titles and levels that you would get out?
I want to be a world champion.
World champion.
I really, and I do believe I can do that. When I'm in the gym and I see Liam Davis fighting for the IBO world title against the geezer who beat a Mexican fighter. He beat Lee McGregor. Yeah. Good southpaw fighter. But when I see him, he's sort of same as me. Was a good amateur. I had about 100 and something fights. Was sort of thereabouts. I think he won one title. Then got to a couple of finals like I did. Do you know what I mean? Didn't kick on in the amateurs, but now he's dedicated his life to boxing, pro boxing. He's grafted away, and he's gonna win a world title. You know what I mean? So that I know.
How old is he?
27, above me. Yeah. So, and I know when if I just do what they're doing and put in the hard work, my ability's there. Do you know what I mean? I just need the opportunity. Yeah. And I do believe I can become a world champion.
It must be really motivating to see your ranking go up as well.
Yeah, it's nice.
Because, like, you might not have right now that contract.
Yeah.
But you can box your way into where you're undeniable. And that, you know, clearly that's happening. You've gone from 16 to 10. So that must give you some sort of like motivation.
Well, it's nice to see. Do you know what I mean? It's nice to see because obviously, if you look at the people's records above me, they've all had quite a lot more fights than mine. I've only had 8. You know what I mean?
That's why I was reading out them names because look, at the end of the day, all of them are difficult. They're not easy fights, are they? They're hard fights. But we can all mention about, you know, people that are below you. But it's about boxing.
Yeah, I don't look at what's behind me. You know what I mean? They're probably looking at me thinking, I want to fight Elliot Whale. You know what I mean? But I'm looking at people above me, and there's a couple of people there who got belts as well, or potentially going to get belts. So I want to take the belts.
So how does it work? Do you box your way into so like obviously you've got this fight in March and then you box again. As you creep up these rankings, you become mandatory for like an English title.
Yeah.
Or British. So So the first title that you're likely to be mandatory for is the English title.
There's a Southern Area title.
Yeah, sorry, of course there is. So Southern Area. Yeah. Forgot about Southern Area.
So the guys' show I was on, TM14, they're called. It's John and Aaron. Yeah, they're good people. They're good people, and I think their plan was to try and get me to fight for that title, which I would do if I'm not getting any other opportunities elsewhere. But obviously, I've just got this fight in March on Western Channel 5. If I put on a good performance here, who knows? I could finally get a deal, or I don't know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I might. Yeah, that's what I want. You know what I mean? I want to get a deal, but I want to get a promoter backing me and guiding my career. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if that means I have to give up that little opportunity of the fight, I'm not really bothered. I feel like I'm levels above the Southern Area anyway.
Yeah.
But
that's why I didn't mention it.
Yeah, no, yeah. So I
was thinking like if you're gonna English titles like a
that's closer to like the British then. You know what I mean? So I think obviously that side of things, the business side of things, I don't really know. I let my manager deal with it. I trust him, and I think if he can make me mandatory, if I get this win here, then make me mandatory to fight the winner of the English title in March 16th. Who knows?
That would be fantastic. Yeah. That would be fantastic. So I've got a few more quick fire questions just to finish up, Elliot, mate. Yep. Who was your favourite fighter to watch growing up? I don't know if you got one. Who was your favourite fighter?
Probably Joe Calzaghe at the time. Ricky Hatton.
Yeah.
Yeah, them sort of fighters. When I was young anyway, when I remember I was being young in the front room and that, coming out to Blue Moon and stuff. Yeah.
I once was on a train from London to Bath, and basically Joe Kawasaki was on the train.
Yeah.
This is before I'd never even seen a famous person. I was like a kid, innit? And I went to get a pic. He was with his sons at the time. I was like, "Oh, Joe," and he was like, "Oh, you're right, mate. Like really friendly and that. And I said, "Oh, can I get a picture?" And he was like, "Yeah." And then when I went to get a picture, my phone died.
Nah.
Right? And he went, "Oh, what a shame." So anyway, they had a phone charger.
Right.
So I stayed on the train to Wales. I stayed on the train to Wales to get a picture with him.
Oh, that's mental.
Yeah, because he's amazing, and he must be thinking, "Oh, I've got this kid sat with me for a bloody hour stringing me off." But I got a picture. And then I remember I called my mum. I said, "Mum, I'm really low on battery, but I'm going to be. I've got to turn around and come back." So I had to get the train back. But I got a picture with Joe Kawasaki because he was, he was amazing. But he's definitely someone that's kind of stayed away from the limelight since he's retired and stuff, hasn't he?
I think he's trying to get into management. I think he's doing a bit of managing now.
Yeah. Who would you say is the most underrated fighter in the UK right now, and why? Me.
Elliot Whale. I do honestly believe I'm the most underrated fighter in the country. I don't know why I am. I just get slept on so bad, and I really don't get it. Do you know what I mean?
Well, there we go.
Hopefully, I get backing. That last fight pushes me on a bit, and get the backing of a promoter. Then soon the world will be able to see what I'm really about. Do you know what I mean?
I think the most important thing as well for you is just to remember to have fun with it as well.
Yeah.
Have as much fun as possible.
That's it,
Just have fun with it. Know it's coming.
Yeah.
And you're doing all you can't be making more sacrifices.
No.
You're around a great team, great people. You're taking a risk with what you've done, and
it will pay off. It's going to pay off. It's definitely going to pay off.
Got a few more. Who wins Fury versus Usyk? Sorry, who wins Fury or Usyk?
Yeah, I'm going to say Fury, but you can't write Usyk off because what a fighter he is. And it depends on going on Fury's last fight. Then Usyk's probably rubbing his hands together. Do you know what I mean? But I feel like he's a little bit weak to the body, Usyk. You know what I mean?
Fury knows that as well.
Yeah, Fury, and I think he'll lay on him and get him to the body. And I think, you know, like Usyk's been done a couple of times to the body, complaining that it's low blows. He's done it in the amateurs. He's done it twice, I think, a couple of times in the pros. I think Fury's status, Usyk won't be able to influence the ref. If he's moaning about a thing, because it's Fury, they probably won't listen to him. Whereas everyone else, he's like the king, you know what I mean? So they have to sort of listen to him, you know what I mean? But I think where it's Fury, I don't think the complaining is going to...
he's not going to be able to navigate his way out of it.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. So I feel like, depending on what Fury turns up, if the right Fury turns up, I think he probably could stop him, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To the body.
I feel like the Usyk and Fury fight is so interesting because, like, I feel like you think you know boxing, then it's like, were we stupid all along? And of course, Usyk was going to win, and he's the bloody undisputed.
Yeah.
He's had 300 amateur fights, and he's like, is Usyk boxing in another universe? Or is Fury, what I would expect, too big, too strong?
Should be,
runs him down.
He should be.
It's just crazy.
He
you
should
just don't
be,
know,
but Usyk's footwork and just IQ, it's out of this world.
It's out of this world, yeah. And
Great
he's proven
fighter.
that time and time again. I mean, he's undisputed. And the other thing with Usyk as well was that you find sometimes he plays possum a little bit. Like I remember when he boxed Derek Chisora, and I always think, did he hold back a little bit to get the AJ fight? Yeah, how good is he?
Yeah, he could possibly do that. You know what I mean? How good
is he?
So we'll see. We'll find out. It's only a couple of weeks.
We'll find out, my mate. Yeah. And last question: what advice would you give to a young person starting out in the amateurs in order to excel in boxing like you have?
All right, so I'd say just to train hard, turn up, stay disciplined, have a clear vision of where you want to get to in life, you know what I mean? And if you want to do the boxing seriously, just stay so focused on that. Don't let your friends or don't fall into like the bad stuff, you know what I mean? Or just stay so focused on boxing. It's a bit of a lonely ride, you know what I mean? But it'll pay off. Just hard work and dedication.
Nice, brother.
Yeah.
So your next fight is in Telford, 1st of March.
Yep.
Where do people get tickets?
They can get through me.
Contact you directly,
contact me, probably on Instagram.
What's your Instagram handle?
Just Elliot Whale.
Elliot Whale. Oh, you got your actual name, have you?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Luckily.
You'll be glad you got that one, mate. Someone otherwise you got Elliot Whale 496 and someone's trying to sell it to you for $5,000.
So they get me on there.
Wicked.
Yeah, so.
Great. Is there anything else you want to cover?
I just want to say thanks to my sponsors. That's the main one. I've got some sponsors there. RMS, Skip and Grab. They come with me just after my last fight in 2022. So they was there when I weren't even boxing. Do you know what I mean? And then once I decided I'm gonna train up Walsall, we renewed our thing again. So they stuck by me. So I'm thankful for them. I've got a new sponsor, Target Lifts.
Yep.
They've just jumped on board now. So big thanks to them. And also Elton Contractors. They helped me out. And a couple of other people that helped me out behind the scenes as well. So big thanks to all them.
Great. Well, thanks for coming on today, mate.
Yeah,
it's been great to see you. You're a hell of a lot bigger than last time I seen you.
Yeah, that's good.
But I always knew you'd do well, mate.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Your story's only 30% rare. You've got plenty more to come.
That's it.
And it'd be great to see you win titles and secure your family's future, my friend.
That's it. It's coming, mate.
Yeah, thanks, mate. Well, look, guys, you've been listening or watching to episode 7 of Keep A LukeOut. All the best. God bless. Big up. Big up.
Yeah, lovely.